You cut carbs, cleaned up your meals, and you expected steady energy. Instead, you feel flat, foggy, and weirdly tired. That is one of the most common low-carb complaints, even when people are disciplined and consistent. The key is this: fat loss and energy are not the same thing. Your body can be moving toward a leaner state while your day-to-day fuel delivery is struggling. Low-carb changes hormones, fluid balance, and how your cells access quick energy. And those shifts can show up as heavy legs, low motivation, headaches, or that wired but tired feeling. The good news is that exhaustion usually has a reason you can identify. It is rarely a character flaw, and it is not proof you can't do low carb. Over the next sections, you'll get a clear map of the most common causes, how to recognize them, and what to adjust without turning your diet into a complicated science project. Moving to slide 2. First, separate two phases people mix up: adaptation and misconfiguration. In the first 1 to 3 weeks, many people feel tired because the body is learning to run more on fat and ketones, and to spare glucose for the places that truly need it. That transition can feel like low power, especially during workouts or mentally demanding days. But here's the important part: true adaptation is not supposed to feel like a slow decline that keeps getting worse. If you are exhausted month after month, something is off. Either carbs are too low for your activity, calories are too low for your stress load, or electrolytes are out of balance. Another clue is timing. If fatigue spikes right after starting, that points to fluid and electrolyte shifts. If fatigue builds gradually, that often points to chronic undereating, poor sleep, or training that is too intense for your current fuel setup. The fix depends on which pattern you're in. Moving to slide 3. One of the biggest reasons low carb feels exhausting is not carbs, it's sodium. When insulin drops, your kidneys tend to excrete more sodium and water. That can shrink blood volume a bit, and you feel it as dizziness, low stamina, headaches, and a general battery-drained sensation. Many people respond by drinking more plain water, which can dilute electrolytes further. The result is you feel even more tired, even though you're doing what sounds healthy. A simple way to recognize this pattern is how you feel when you stand up quickly, or after a hot shower, or during a long walk. If you feel lightheaded or unusually weak, think electrolytes first. Sodium is the main player, but potassium and magnesium matter too, because they help nerves and muscles fire normally. This is also why some people feel immediate relief from a salty broth. It is not magic, it is basic fluid balance. Moving to slide 4. Next is calories, because low carb often reduces appetite. That sounds like a win until it quietly becomes underfueling. If you cut carbs and also cut total food, your body may respond by lowering non-essential output. You still function, but you feel slow. You may notice cold hands, low drive, poor workout recovery, or waking up tired even after a full night. This is not about willpower. It is a normal energy conservation response. And it is easy to miss because weight may still be dropping, so you assume the plan is working. But if energy is collapsing, the plan is not sustainable. A helpful mental model is calories set the ceiling, carbs set the style. You can be low carb and still eat enough. If your meals are mostly lean protein and vegetables, you may need more fat or more total portions. Otherwise, your body is trying to run a busy day on a small budget. Moving to slide 5. A lot of people think low carb automatically means high fat, but in practice they land in a dead zone. Low carb, low fat, and just okay protein. That combination can feel like constant fatigue because nothing is providing enough energy density. Protein is essential, but it is not primarily a fast fuel, and turning protein into glucose is possible, but it is not as effortless as eating carbs. So if your plate is chicken breast, salad, and maybe some berries, you might be doing healthy, but you are not doing energizing. The fix is not to force-feed fat, but to make sure meals are built around a real energy source. For some people, that is more olive oil, eggs, fattier fish, avocado, or nuts. For others, it is adding back a small targeted carb portion around training. The point is to avoid that gray zone where you are restricting everything at once. Moving to slide 6. Now let's talk about training, because low-carb fatigue often shows up most during exercise. High-intensity work, sprints, heavy circuits, hard intervals, leans heavily on glycogen, which is stored carbohydrate in muscle. You can still do these workouts low carb, but performance may dip if glycogen is chronically low. That dip feels like your legs have no pop, your heart rate climbs faster, and recovery takes longer. Some people interpret that as being out of shape, when it is really a fuel mismatch. Endurance at an easy pace often improves with adaptation, but intensity is a different story. If you love intense training, one option is targeted carbs, a small carb serving before or after workouts. Another option is to shift training toward more Zone 2 style work while adapting. The key is not to moralize carbs. It is to match the fuel system to the job you are asking your body to do. Moving to slide 7. Another sneaky cause is sleep, and low carb can affect it in both directions. Some people sleep better with steadier blood sugar. Others get lighter sleep, more wake-ups, or early morning alertness. One reason is that very low carb plus a big calorie deficit is a stress signal. Your body may increase stress hormones to keep energy available, and that can make you feel tired but restless. Another factor is that carbs can support serotonin and melatonin pathways in some people, especially when carbs are eaten later in the day. If your low-carb plan also removed your usual evening starch, your sleep may shift. The key is to watch the pattern. Trouble falling asleep, waking at 3 a.m., or feeling unrefreshed. Solutions can include eating enough overall, not training late, and for some people, adding a small carb portion at dinner. Better sleep often fixes low-carb fatigue more than any supplement. Moving to slide 8. Let's zoom in on micronutrients, because low carb can unintentionally narrow your food variety. If you cut fruit, legumes, whole grains, and some starchy vegetables, you might also reduce magnesium, potassium, and certain B vitamins, depending on what you replace them with. Low magnesium can feel like cramps, twitchiness, poor sleep, and fatigue. Low potassium can feel like weakness and low exercise tolerance. And if your low-carb plan is mostly meat and cheese, fiber can drop, digestion slows, and you feel heavy and tired. None of this means low-carb is bad. It means the food selection matters. Low-carb can be rich in minerals if you include leafy greens, avocado, nuts, seeds, and mineral-rich broths. It can also include more variety through low-sugar berries and different vegetables. Energy is often less about carb grams and more about whether your diet is nutritionally complete. Moving to slide 9. Caffeine can also make low-carb exhaustion worse, even if it feels like it helps. When you are underfueled or low on electrolytes, caffeine may push stress chemistry higher. You get a short lift, then a harder crash. And if caffeine delays hunger cues, you may eat even less, which deepens the problem. Another issue is that low carb sometimes reduces your tolerance to stimulants because baseline adrenaline is already a bit higher during adaptation. So the same coffee that used to feel normal can start feeling jittery. A practical test is simple. If you need more caffeine than before to feel functional, your foundation is probably off. The fix is not necessarily quitting coffee. It is rebuilding the basics. Enough food, enough sodium, and better sleep. Then caffeine becomes optional again, instead of a life support system for your morning energy. Moving to slide 10. Another overlooked factor is thyroid signaling and overall metabolic adaptation. When you diet, especially when calories are low, your body can reduce energy expenditure. Some people also see changes in thyroid hormones, like T3, which is involved in metabolic rate. This is not a diagnosis, and it is not something you can confirm by feeling tired. But it is a useful concept. If you stack low carb, low calorie, high training volume, and high stress, your body may downshift. You still lose weight, but you feel like you are moving through mud. The practical takeaway is to avoid piling every stressor on at once. If fat loss is the goal, consider slower loss, planned maintenance phases, and training that supports recovery. If you already feel run down, the smartest move is often not more restriction. It is a better balance between deficit and restoration. Moving to slide 11. Let's make this actionable with a quick self-check. First, ask, is the fatigue mostly physical, mostly mental, or both? Physical fatigue with dizziness points to electrolytes. Mental fog with cravings can point to too little total energy or too few carbs for your brain's current demands. Next, look at when it hits. Morning fatigue can be sleep or undereating. Afternoon crashes can be caffeine plus low intake.
Workout-only fatigue often points to glycogen. Then check your plate structure. Are you truly low-carb but also low-fat? Are you skipping meals unintentionally? Are you relying on diet snacks instead of real meals? Finally, check hydration quality. If you drink lots of water but rarely salt food, that is a red flag.
This kind of troubleshooting is powerful because it turns exhaustion into a solvable pattern. You do not need to change everything. You just need to change the right variable first, then reassess after several days. Moving to slide 12. Here are a few adjustments that tend to help without turning low carb into chaos. 1. Prioritize electrolytes, especially sodium, and notice whether energy and headaches improve within a day or two. 2. Make sure you are eating enough total food. If weight is falling fast and energy is falling faster, that is a sign to raise intake. 3. Avoid the low-fat, low-carb dead zone by adding an energy source you tolerate well. 4. If you train hard, consider targeted carbs around workouts or temporarily reduce intensity while adapting. 5. Protect sleep like it is part of the diet, because it is. Keep these changes small and test one at a time. The goal is not to win low carb. The goal is to feel steady, think clearly, and have energy you can trust. Low carb is a tool. When it is configured well, it can feel calm and stable. When it is configured poorly, it feels like pushing a car uphill in neutral. Moving to slide 13. One last point. Sometimes exhaustion on low carb is a sign that low carb is not the best fit for your current season. If you are under high stress, sleeping poorly, training hard, and also trying to diet aggressively, your body may do better with a moderate carb approach. That is not failure, that is strategy. You can also cycle carbs, lower on rest days, higher on training days, while keeping food quality high. The big win is flexibility. You want a way of eating that supports your work, your workouts, and your mood, not just the scale. If you take one thing from this, let it be this. Fatigue is feedback. It usually points to electrolytes, energy intake, training fuel, or sleep. Fix the bottleneck, and low carb often becomes much easier. If you want, share your experience in the comments. Did your fatigue feel more like dizziness and weakness, or more like brain fog and low motivation? And if you want more scripts like this, subscribe. This information is not a substitute for medical advice. Optimize your biology, not just your diet.